What's going on, guys? This is part 2 of my Bravo Company One Shepherd fall semester in West Virginia. Part 1 focused on the first half of the week, which was the STX, or Situational Training Exercise. There, students received periods of instruction and practical application over establishing and operating at a patrol base, point and area reconnaissance, and raids. Now in this video, you will see the final culminating event at every One Shepherd semester, and that is the Field Training Exercise, or FTX. During the FTX, the students would be divided into two opposing sides. Blue 4, which is represented by Woodland Utilities, and Op 4 and ODs. Every FTX begins with the traditional Road to War briefing, which helps lay out the climate leading up to the events that will be transpiring during the FTX, as well as assign each student to their respective side and position in the squad.
And here we go. SFW, we start with the political climate, and then we do command and team assignments. All right. Welcome to Bravo Company Fall FTX 2020 at the BSR facility in West Virginia. The Road to War. A bitter and protracted civil war erupted on the coastal nation of Sudan in the late 1970s, with neither side able to defeat the other. Over the next 20 years, Sudan was split into two domains with erratic borders. The nationalist Canaanites of Sudan maintain official control of the nation, but some 40% of Sudan is controlled by the Taji Sword militia of Sudan. So the Taji Sword. So, let's talk about who's who in the zoo. So, our Op 4 is the Taji Sword. And the Taji Sword patrol leader will be Leo Clark. The assistant patrol leader, Rob Dale. The RTO, David Kay. Blue 4 will be SLDF, Southern Levant Defense Forces. Leading the SLDF for PL is Long Pang. His APL is Chris Hansford, and the RTO is Chris Johnson.
Following the Road to War brief, each side's leadership would be given their respective missions.
Here you go. Situation. The friendly situation. SLDF have located a laser radar spectral detector on the island of Gilgamesh. That's your island of Gilgamesh. Your enemy is, of course, the Taji Sword, and they have secretly moved not just MLR, like your BM-21s, Katyushas, and not only secretly done that, but they've secretly moved AAA missiles, AAA missiles, so SAMs, forward to the Sudan border. The environment, shitty weather. I don't know what else to tell you. Cold and wet. Nighttime visibility is excellent, though. You've got full moon or near full moon conditions for the next 2 nights. Okay? The mission. 1st Troop, 10th Cavalry. That's you. 1st Troop will execute local security for the generator on the island of Gilgamesh from 1500 hours, 29 October, to 1200 hours, 30 October. And I'm going to hand you this, Pang. I'm going to hand you this anyway. Right. Commander's intent. This is your higher commander's intent. Obviously, you'll nest your commander's intent within this. Higher commander's intent, provide local security for the LRSD to detect and counter enemy rocket artillery or SAM missiles. This requires establishment of the control vehicles and then screening patrols on the island of Gilgamesh. Rules of engagement. Engage only enemy forces in the AO. There are fishermen who often land at Gilgamesh, and you may see and hear other activity there. Fishermen from both sides, from Sudan and from Levant. Okay? So careful, don't shoot at civilians.
Are we allowed to detain civilians?
If you need to ask them who they are, you certainly can. Okay. Yes. Your casualty plan. You will be reinforced for casualty losses at the top of even numbered hours. 1200, 1400, 1600, 1800. Got it? The top of even number hours is your normal reinforcement, casualty reinforcement. You have, here's the thing, you have 6 instant respawns, OC, this is mostly directed to you, to be used as a QRF. And what I mean specifically by that, OC, is that if Enemy are still conducting actions on the objective. Do not respawn them into the action. As soon as they pull off the objective, that's your go time. They are a quick reaction force. They have 6 instant respawns. Questions? But the point is, we're trying to, knock some common sense, bring them to the negotiation table and say, look, if you're not just going to respect us out of the kindness of your heart, because it's the right thing to do, then you'll at least fear us.
Sometimes you gotta punch a bully in the nose.
That's exactly it. So we send rockets. When we send rockets, they send artillery, or they, move in with their advanced fighter bombers. Okay? So, all right. So what do? They're going to move in with, F-16s given by the great capitalist state of the world. Then fine. We're going to go to the BSR and get some nice sophisticated SAMs to send at their F-16s. Got it? So our SAMs have moved forward. They have a new device. We don't know what the fuck it is, but we know their code. They call it the generator. Apparently, this can isolate, target whatever we send up into the air. Be that an artillery round, be that a 122 Katyusha, be that SAM, manpad, anything else. It seems to be pretty sophisticated, let's say, radar, okay? Don't know a whole lot about how it works or anything else, but we know they have it. We either need to capture it or destroy it. Right? All right. So, we've got a large estuary. Most of our border is landlocked with southern Levant. But here closer to the ocean, Mediterranean Ocean, we've got a large estuary. So there's this massive body of water right there. I'll pull the map out and talk about it. There's a tiny little island, the Isle of Gamesh. Used to be ours. The Southern Levant took that from us, I think, what was that, in the late 70s, and they've never given it back. But fishermen use it all the time. Intel says they're putting the generator on that island. We're going to take it from them, or at least destroy it. I'll stop there. I'll start reading more here in a second. Questions? We understand what's going on?
I'm guessing that if we capture the generator, then our engineer will be able to reverse engineer it.
Or learn to mitigate it at least.
So we need some C4.
Well, depends on whether we're going to try and take it out or bring one
Well,
home.
now that's the interesting thing, okay? Because this thing fits into a Pelican case. They come in black, tan, or green. They're a Pelican case, roughly 2 to 3 feet wide by 3 to 4 feet long.
Once orders were given, the leaders of each side began their planning. Assistant patrol leaders and team leaders would then begin drawing mission essential gear from supply and carrying out inspections of their men.
Ammo drop.
Wait. There you go. Say it. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Night vision. Smoke grenades.
Radio.
Man pack.
You got the man pack.
Wow. Full size radios. That's not like the mini bar.
Okay. We'll come back.
Yes, one by one. So we'll do that in the tent here or in the dry area. That's covered. Yeah. Probably just do it on your bunk. I'll do that per fire team. I'll check on the other one first. They're all packed.
Okay.
MREs, ammos are here.
So grab it.
Yeah, just grab it. Break the box, grab it.
Numbers good enough. They won't be able to figure it out in quite a while.
We know for a fact they're bad at math.
Yeah. If they're running, our friendly force running into the perimeter, retreating from somewhere, and they need to get there fast, don't even want to do math in their head, you yell out 8, and they say, fuck it, I'm just coming in. Well, the running password is coyote. So coyote, just keep running.
Do you want to do the number afterwards?
Blue 4 would be slated for insertion first in the simulation. If They'd be dropped off at a notional island, which is where they were tasked with setting up a counter-battery radar site that consisted of 2 vehicles. One of their vehicles was equipped with a large Pelican-style case on its hood, which is referred to as the generator. The generator was a secret weapon that powered the site. Unbeknown to Blue 4, this generator would be the target of Op 4's raid. Once Blue 4 were off the fob, Op 4 began their final preparations for their infiltration of the island and their subsequent raid on the counter-battery radar site by issuing orders to their men and conducting rehearsals.
Alright, here's the situation. The SLDF has a secret weapon called a generator. It's capable of intercepting any of our missiles, rockets, and artillery. So anything we shoot up in the air, this radar system's able to shoot it down. Okay? We are to... It's also supported by 2 ground vehicles, and it's a 2-man box. It's going to be, the generator is in a green, brown, or tan container by 3x4, and it's a 2-man type of a unit. It needs to be handled by two personnel and supported by 2 vehicles. Okay? There are civilians in the area, possibly. Do not engage any civilians. Do not engage any enemy unless you're engaged, so that we can continue the recon. Copy? Okay. Our mission and my commander's intent is to aggressively patrol by point recon to locate and capture or destroy the generator using our thermite grenade or our C4. 1700, we'll be getting out of here. We'll be extracted and dropped off and inserted at this pier located on the island of Gamesh. It's one of these piers right there. Okay? When we get in there, we're going to get here. We're going to set up 360 security for a little while, right? Okay. Then Bravo with APL. All Bravo unit with APL will go out. Bravo 2 will occupy the LPOP, while Bravo 1 at 7 p.m. goes out and conducts a recon of Twix, and we'll be back by 9 p.m. Bravo 1 will come through the LPOP and disseminate their information. From there, Alpha will go out in force, relieve the Bravo element. Bravo Alpha 2 will occupy the LPOP, while Alpha 1 conducts recon on Skittles, Snickers, and come back to and through the LPOP to disseminate information to me. At that point, we will relieve as needed. We get here right around middle after 5, 1700, right? Okay. Close. We land, pow, pow, pow. We come on in. This is our patrol base. We get a 360 security, right? 360. Okay. All right. Everything look good? I'm gonna get my leader's recon team. We're gonna go up. We're going to establish the LPOP. Okay.
At this point, other 2 teams of Alpha, what are you doing?
Guarding 360.
Yeah, you got predominant layer security. Everyone, a Bravo team, what are you doing?
50%.
50%, right?
Okay.
Once their time hack for departure came, Op 4 loaded up into a notional fishing boat, aka the Van, and departed for the island of Gilgamesh.
Catch you on the flip side.
Face bang.
Who are you?
Command element will fly away. In tight.
Here you see Op 4 being inserted. Their patrol base would be hidden underneath the bleacher area, which was simulating being hidden underneath the boat dock. For the first day of the FTX, my buddy Les, who some of you know as Pegasus Test on YouTube, he and I would be in the rear with the gear, running the COC as White Cell. Here we would be receiving reports from both Blue 4 and Op 4, and acting as their higher command to help drive the simulation. All right, so Blue 4 just called in about 21:05. They said they engaged enemy near the van and had they killed 3 enemy KIA. So looks like Blue 4 is doing pretty good. However, Off 4, we also picked up traffic about Off 4 locating the Humvee. So that's where the generator is, which is Off 4's objective. So should be pretty interesting to see what's going down here in the next few hours, I guess.
Yeah, well, looks like things are developing quickly out there.
Yeah, so looks like it's rolling pretty good.
All right, it's midnight here on the first night of the FTX. Getting ready to do a little shift change here with my buddy Brent. We've had a couple radio checks from the Blue 4. We've heard nothing on the Op 4 net, and we assume both sides out there are doing their planning and getting ready for their next move.
All right, we as the OCs are getting ready to move out. It's a little bit after 06. We've had a pretty uneventful night, although the last radio call we got said that the Blue 4 had heard some whistle blasts, although they do not know if they were enemy or civilian. Right now, we are getting ready to do the extraction of the Op 4 and the movement of the Blue 4 to new locations, and Brent is encoding a message to tell the Blue 4 that radios will be unmanned for a period of time.
Echo 3-4, Echo 3-4, this is Zulu 4-3, over. Alright, so we're on day 2. It's early morning, 06. Les and I are about to punch out. He's going to take over as the OC for the Op 4. I'm going to take over as the OC as Blue 4. The difference is, though, is Les is going to be OCing for Op 4, but he's not going to be actually in the scenario. Whereas, because Blue 4 is down a man, I'm actually going to join them as a partisan, and I'm going to be a medic. So I'll have the God gun, but I'm not going to take any leadership roles. Essentially just going to be a medic with a rifle and still exercising the OC duties and responsibilities. However, I will be an active participant on the Blue 4 side. Alright guys, it's the morning of day 2 of the FTX. So up until this point I've been an OC, been back in the rear in the hooch manning the headquarters radio, just getting the reports from the Blue 4. This morning the Blue 4 are supposed to be extracted from the site that they were supposed to defend, and they're supposed to be inserted into Op 4's side of the island. So right now I'm transitioning from being an OC back in the rear to being a partisan for the Blue 4 that lives on the Op 4's island. Over here I have a air panel up in the tree, and although it doesn't look like it, we're actually staring at a notional body of water. And there's a farmhouse that you probably can't see off in the distance over there. That is my farmhouse, and it has a basement in it. And as a partisan, I'm supposed to link up with the Blue 4 guys and take them down there, and they're going to operate out of the basement of my notional farmhouse here. So should be a good time. We're just waiting for their arrival. All right, guys, here she comes. Good to see you, comrade. I am your resistance freedom fighter. Here's the deal. Okay. All right, I'm a partisan. All right. I live here. All right, but I'm also part of the resistance. Okay. Okay. I have a farm right over there. See that big farm on the horizon over there? Yeah. That's my house. I have a basement that I can hide your whole squad in, and you can operate out of it. Okay. I also have some medical skills, So I can double as a medic. I can revive your guys once I get my penicillin delivered to me.
Sure.
At the moment, my medic skills kind of suck, but once I get my penicillin, I can revive your guys at the top of the hour.
All right.
All right, and I can act as a rifleman.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
You guys have all your packs and everything?
They're unloading now.
Okay, so once all your guys are ready to roll, I'll guide you to my residence.
All right.
All right, and stash you guys in the basement.
Cool.
After rucking up, the Blue 4 began following me to the basement of the barn house. Meanwhile, clear across the other side of the AO, the Op 4 was setting up a 2-vehicle SAM site. Blue 4's new mission would be to first locate the site and then to launch a raid on it to destroy the installation. This site consisted of a radar van as well as a mobile SAM truck, which was simulated using a Humvee with 2 white dummy missiles on the back.
All right, here's the camouflage command vehicle and its decoy. To get everybody up to speed, this morning after our last update, we removed the Op 4, the Taji Sword, from the island of Gilgamesh. We brought them back to their own territory, and they took over defense of this anti-aircraft missile battery. And now they're got most of their people down on rest, minimal security. And we're going to see what happens throughout the day, whether SLDF decides to launch an attack against this missile site or take it out by some other means.
Here you see Blue 4 arriving at the basement of the barn and beginning to establish a patrol base in it.
This is the basement of my home. That window's open. This door's open. That window, I think you can see out as well. Yeah. So, this is your BB. You can operate out of here. It's all in play. The enemy can find it. Alright. There's some water. I got it this morning from my well. I give to you as gift.
Shortly after occupying the basement, Blue 4's leadership began formulating a plan to locate the enemy SAM site by pushing out recon teams.
Okay, so we're here, right? So essentially, they could be back here, but my guess is if they're going to take the van and the Humvee, Les isn't afraid of driving it on these dirt paths. He's not going to drive it in wood shit, but so essentially we have an 800 by 400 area. So
I have not seen the missile trucks down here.
Yeah.
Since I've lived here.
Yeah.
I've seen them drive in this area.
Yeah.
But I have not seen them come down here by my house.
Okay. Thank you, kind resistance leader. We are indebted to you for your friendship.
You pay me later.
Yes, we will pay you later. Okay, so, alright. So essentially, everything from the fog to where we established that PB and over. Now, the road, the hard road, that is the border. Alright? Okay. So essentially, if we look at it this way. This kind of makes an X. We've got 4 sectors. So that shouldn't be too easy because in between, now this is an area where if I was doing it, I would park it somewhere in here because this is an open clearing. This is an open clearing. This is an open clearing. This is where there are patches of trees. So I think our primary search should be in this area. Makes sense. So now the question is where?
Can I interject?
Yes.
This is from the resistance. Get that. Don't touch. This is thermite grenade.
Okay.
You pull straight up. straight up, not sideways like smoke. You have 2 to 3 second delay. You put on ground next to objective. Like at the objective. Wait, smoke. It's thermite grade. Okay. You set next to a vehicle and burn through. Okay. Wait. Other thermite. I think it's purple. Purple just for fun.
Luckily for the Blue 4, their first recon patrol actually located the enemy SAM site. Here you see the APL briefing the PL of what they found.
That was temporary marks. I disregard them. That is not only their patrol base, that's where the Humvee is, and that's where I saw missile crates. There was one specialized looking crate.
Gotcha.
They also had sleeping rolls, and I saw a couple of rocks left in front of the Humvee as we came around the corner.
Yeah.
I didn't see any personnel, but as we were egressing, I heard them turn the vehicle on and saw a puff of smoke. We observed it for about, what would you say, 3 minutes? Probably. And it didn't come out either side of the crop of trees, which we could observe.
Okay.
And we continued to see smoke, so we left. Its exact coordinates.
With the location of the enemy SAM site known, it was looking like everything was going golden for the Blue 4.
No.
Patrol leader even decided to give his guys the opportunity to rest and not conduct any further reconnaissance in order to not spook the enemy. The expectation being that they would ultimately hit the location later that night. The patrol leader wasn't counting on the fact, though, that one of his guys would ultimately be compromised by the Op 4 while he was going outside of the barn to take a shit. A short gun battle ensued just outside of the barn, making the Blue 4 feel like the place was under siege.
Nothing.
With their patrol base potentially compromised, Blue 4 had to make the decision on whether to launch their raid or to stick with their plan but relocate the patrol base. Meanwhile, on the Op 4 side, they did not know exactly where the Blue 4 base was, but they did know that it was in close proximity to the barn and were thus planning to send out ambush patrols in its vicinity.
Okay, so you three go on that ambush. Okay, I got Dave and me, and we got
Alpha team.
an Alpha
Right?
1, right? Okay.
Yeah, if you happen to see a
Go
radio
fuck them up,
antenna.
dudes.
Okay, we got it.
Pick it up.
Hit it and get out of there. You got it?
Yep.
Don't run back to here though.
Yeah.
Run over there and come back around.
Yeah, we can hit northern LOA and then circle around.
Dude, I'm wet now, dude. I trucked all the way back almost. All right.
Faced with a tough decision, Blue 4 decided to stash their rucks and subsequently step off en route to an objective rally point just to the north of the SAM site, from which they would launch their raid to accomplish their mission.
That's a disadvantage for us, because support team won't be able to get eyes on the target when we start the assault. But we can still do two-pronged attack. Here's the plan. From where we are, we're moving forward for about 70 to 75 to 100 meters into our release point. Up until this point, we're still X-ray and Zulu, APL and PL, and our dear petition comrade. At the release point, the structure will change into assault team and support team. Got it? Okay. Support team will move into position first towards the left of the target. Assault team will move to the right.
At the same time, Blue 4 was making their way to their ORP. Unbeknown to Blue 4, Op 4 had received orders from higher to relocate their SAM site to the far southeast of the AO due to the detected presence of Blue 4 on their homeland.
Okay, so here's the situation. Finally, at 1400, the PL here finally called in his contact and his discovery of the Blue 4
base deep in his territory. His higher command, realizing that he had enemy forces here, knew what their objective was, did not want to lose this high value asset. So it originally was far to the north of their operational area. They very quickly broke camp, packed everything up, and moved the SAM site down to the southern portion of their AO, the complete opposite end. And hopefully they've stolen a movement on their opponent, and their opponent may or may not have known where they were previously, but now their mission of reconnaissance just got significantly more difficult.
I think they moved aside. Tell the team, come to us. Right.
Okay, so we have visual in this sector, they're not there. We have visual to the farmhouse, they're not there. So
We circle towards the right corner too.
I think that's all we can do.
Send out a pair of two-man patrols. Hey, keep everybody else in 360 so well. 180 security here.
Where was their patrol base?
Where's what?
Where was their patrol base, do you know?
I saw rucks, sleeping pads, just your regular run out of gear, so I thought it would be here.
Okay.
I honestly thought it would be on the back side of that set of trees, like they were right up against the road. And they would then use the road as a firing line if we came from the other way.
Well, either way, we should either move into one of these tree clumps or move somewhere else, because my guess is if they probably think that they know that we're coming for it.
From the old SAM site, Blue 4 then began to punch out recon patrols all the way back to their old barn location and still had not located any OPFOR.
That's exactly it.
Alright, so if we, and again, we don't have to stay in the barn, but if we use that as our general area, we can command that whole area and get visual.
Put your lights on. What's going on?
Message from higher is as follows. Objective location unknown, recon to the south.
Okay.
To the south.
Thank you, command.
The Blue 4 patrol leader subsequently made the call to move the patrol back and reoccupy the old barn location, since they were fairly confident that the enemy was no longer in that particular part of the AO. Once they reestablished a patrol base in the basement, the Blue 4 began pushing out patrols deep into the night, trying to locate where the OPFOR had moved their SAM site to.
You check the rock pile.
Check the rock pile. There's nothing there. So basically, we went up, came down along this road, followed this back road into like this field, came up into this field, popped out here, came around, checked the house again. Nothing.
So we've ruled out here. We've ruled out here.
The other side of the road.
Didn't you guys screen that?
I thought the road was the hard stop for the AO.
Yes. Okay, alright. So then we've ruled out all this. Right? We're here.
Yeah.
And you guys just did
We went
basically a king swing of all that.
We did this.
Okay. So it looks like the only two options would be these two.
And in here.
Okay.
At some point in the wee hours of the morning, Blue 4 had finally located the new Op 4 SAM site in the deep south of the AO. They then formulated a plan to step off to launch a raid on the site under the cover of darkness. The raid was to be a two-pronged strike, with the support element establishing a base of fire from the northwest of the objective, and the assault element, which I was located with, would hit them from the east. The raid would be set off at a specific time, with the support element opening up with a volley of fire, providing cover and distraction for the assault element to move on the objective from the east. Here you see in the final seconds before the raid is set to kick off, the assault element getting online and ready to move on the objective.
Friendly's on objective.
Rally on me, fast. 2-4, rally. Heading, sound off. CIA. All right, on me. 2-4. Across the way. Where's fire? I know. I don't know what it is and I want to kill it. Okay. Vamp, get up on line. We're going to kill it. Roger. Nice. Other way. All 4 on me.
The plan worked flawlessly and completely caught the Op 4 by surprise. The raid force was able to set off the simulated thermite grenades on both the SAM truck as well as the radar van. Only 2 members of the raid force were killed during the course of it. Blue 4 then pulled off the objective and moved back to a pre-established rally point where they would wait until sunrise for extraction by a simulated helicopter. Well, that concluded the FTX simulation. The final act of the FTX would be to conduct a thorough AAR covering the whole exercise.
You got everybody here, PL and APL. Where are they? All right. Blue 4, PL and APL.
Blue 4.
Do a head count. You got everybody here.
X-ray team.
John. An after action review for our guests here, because this is a joint FTX with SFE, Southern Front Events. The after action review nominally follows this. We're going to have PL stand up, PL stand up and say, this was my mission at that time. You'll notice they will not tell you what happened. And if they do, I'll stop them. They're going to say, here was my mission, here's what I wanted to happen. Then we're going to open it up. And we're going to say, what really happened? Then everybody's going to tell their war stories, and I got you, and I shot you, and all this stuff. Don't go too far there. We got beer and steak for that. But we need to say these are things that happen. What we're trying to explore is the difference, guys, everybody. There's what you wanted to happen, what really happened, why are they different? Sometimes you'll find, wow, some really cool things happen that really plussed us up. Let's sustain those. Other things went to hell in a handbasket. Let's fix those. Those are the issues. We'll fix them. This is the learning, the reflective practice of the after-action review. It does, in fact, belong to you. I will moderate it, okay, so that we don't go too far off. And ultimately, guys, here's what it comes down to. The AAR is about redemption. It's not about blame. We reserve the right to lay blame right where it fucking goes, because if we don't, how do we redeem ourselves? But AARs tend to go one way or another, and both of them are bullshit. One way it goes is everything was rosy, everything was fine, just fine, there's nothing to talk about here. That's not an honest inventory. Everything sucked, there was nothing good, everything went to hell in a handbasket, I don't like anybody. That's not an honest inventory. Okay? All right, having said that, that's my forward for the after-action review. I will have, let's see, Blue 4 PL. No, you know what? On this one, I'm going to start with the APL, because you guys were on the receiving end. Blue 4 APL. Hey, there we go. First mission, over in the island of Gilgamesh. I'll give you 1 minute. What was your mission?
We were tasked with guarding a radar device that was powered off of the Humvee, as well as a command van that we ended up disguising. We were not allowed to, or not able to have them closer than 100 meters or farther apart than 300 meters. Our objective, having discussed it as a team, was to keep them as far apart as was allowed, with the hope that if we lost one, we would not lose both in the same raid.
Okay. Off on the Isle of Gilgamesh, very far out of our AO, well, a little over a click. Okay, across an estuary of water. That was that. Did that surprise what the APL just said? Let's be honest. Was anybody in Blue 4 surprised by this? Everybody understood that to be the mission. So the mission was well communicated. Excellent, thank you. Let's move over to the Taji sword, and I want to talk to the PL. No, I don't want to talk to the APL. I want to talk to the PL this time, because you were, what was your mission?
Our mission was to go to the island of Gilgamesh and conduct a raid on a radar device called the generator and destroy it or capture it.
Okay. That surprised anybody in the Op 4 team? Does that sound, oh, what? We did what? Everybody's good? That was well communicated. That was your mission.
Yes.
Great. Now, we'll open it up for the Blue 4 in general terms. How do things go in the Isle of Gilgamesh? How do things go for you? Anybody can talk. And everybody's encouraged.
Sean, you want to start?
Sure. I think things went rather well for us. Initially when we got there, we, immediately once we were there, we set off in recon teams to recon the area, since it was an AO none of us had seen before. And I feel like we did that rather quickly. We were able to position the Humvee in a location that we thought was easily defendable.
Following the AAR was the final Bravo Company formation. If you followed my One Shepherd videos, you know that both Les and I, a little over a year ago, became Green Hat instructors with the Leadership Institute. Since that time, we both helped instruct several semesters and have completed the required curriculum to become the final instructor certification level, which is becoming a Black Hat instructor.
Bravo Company, attention! Forward! All right, so this is my very favorite thing to do during semesters is to recognize our people completing, our cadre instructors completing the Black Hat year-long instructional program is what it is. And it is a certification in instruction in what's called experiential learning. So Brent and Les started with us approximately a year ago and have finished all requirements for that. So that's certainly what we're going to do today, is go ahead and black hat them, ask for your patience, and I'll talk to you in just a minute. There are only 3 ways to earn the triple tab. And the Black Hat Cadre Instructor is definitely one of those ways. About face. All right, at this time, at ease, guys. And Brent, I'll give you a minute if you'd like to address the company.
Well, fellas, hey, I appreciate you guys coming out. I'm glad to see you. I definitely believe in this organization. I wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. I gave a spiel already about how much I believe that not just military, current, past, and present, but regular civilians is part of our country, and I guess greater world, since we have so many students from all over the place come and learn these skills, because they not only develop us into better warriors, they also develop us into better citizens, in my opinion. So thank you guys for coming here and helping me indulge in one of my greatest little fetish. That is light fighter infantry tactics and training.
So just to add on to what Brent said, we all need to be the best martial artists that we can be. And martial arts is not just karate, taekwondo, and proficiency with a firearm. It's also our field craft and leadership. And there is no finer school than One Shepherd to learn those light fighting skills that you need to survive in the field. Welcome aboard, gentlemen. I hope to see all of you again in the future. Thank you.
Bravo Company, attention, forward!
That's it, guys. That concludes my highlight video over the Bravo Company One Shepherd 2020 fall semester in West Virginia. If you're interested in attending a One Shepherd semester in the future, please check out the link to the organization's website in the description box below. I'll also have links to Dr. Christopher Larsen's books, which are excellent reference for the curriculum taught at the One Shepherd semesters. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment.